Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing a Tri-Brigade deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because this deck is one of the best decks of the format, and I'm also really excited to do this for you guys because we just hit 50,000 subscribers, so I wanted to do some giveaways to give back to the community for hitting that amazing milestone. So in this video, we're actually going to be giving away these really awesome Tri-Brigade kit field centers, and these are actually courtesy of Apollo's Dueling Dojo. So if you guys would like to check out Apollo's Dueling Dojo, they are down in the description down below, but I am really excited to actually give these away and do something for the community for hitting that awesome goal. And all you have to do is comment down below what deck you think is going to be the meta deck of this format. I currently think that it is actually going to be either Tri-Brigade, Drytron, or Sword Soul. I really have high hopes for Sword Soul, but I really do think that it might be Tri-Brigade. So, without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out that Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards like getting your name description every single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month your patron, along with test stands. And if you guys would like to check out the official rules for the Tri-Brigade kit field centers, they are all down there in the description, and while you're down there, check out Apollo's Dueling Dojo. So, let's get straight on into the deck profile guys. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Tri-Brigade Fangtail. Fangtail is really good and is a must 3 of in this deck. This card has the ability that you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard to send one level 3 or lower beast, beast warrior, or winged beast monster from your deck to the graveyard. And you can banish any number of beast, beast warrior, or winged beast monsters in your graveyard to special summon one beast, beast warrior, or winged beast link monster from your X deck with a link rating equal to the number of banished cards. Also, you can only use beast, beast warrior, or winged beast monsters as link material for the rest of the turn, which is a really good effect just to be able to go in and special out some of your really powerful Tri-Brigade extra deck monsters. We then play 3 copies of Karas. I like 3 copies of Karas because it's a really good card. 2 is fine, but 3 is, in my opinion, the best way to play it because I always want to see Tri-Brigade monsters in my hand. But this card has a really good effect that you can discard one other beast, beast warrior, or winged beast to special summon this card from your hand, and it also shares that ability that you can banish any number of beast, beast warrior, or winged beast monsters from the graveyard to special summon a beast, beast warrior, or winged beast from your extra deck that is a link monster equal to the amount that you banished. We then play 3 copies of Tri-Brigade Kit. Kit is also a really good card in this deck because you can banish any number of beast, beast warrior, or winged beast monsters in your graveyard to special summon one beast, beast warrior, or winged beast link monster from your extra deck with a link rating equal to the number of banished cards, but you can only use the beast, beast warrior, winged beast monsters as materials for a link summon for the rest of the turn. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can send a Tri-Brigade card from your deck to the graveyard, which is a great effect just to get additional Tri-Brigade cards in your grave. We then play 3 copies of Nirval. Nirval is one of the best cards in the entire deck because it has a really insane effect that it basically, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Tri-Brigade monster from your deck to your hand. So it's a really good searcher in this deck. It gets you into some really good plays, and it's also a wing beast that works with the rest of the Tri-Brigade archetype. We then play 3 copies of Rescue Cat to round out the beast warriors and beast and wing beast monsters. But this card has the ability that you can send this face-up card you control to the graveyard to special summon out 2 level 3 or lower beast type monsters from your deck. And it's a really good card because it basically gets more monsters out of the deck so you can go into more link plays. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. 3 copies of Ash Blossom is just great. This deck plays a lot of hand traps, but Ash Blossom is basically here to stop your opponent from touching the deck. We play 2 copies of Ghost Spell. This is here to basically stop your opponent from touching the graveyard. We play 2 copies of Effect Veiler because Effect Veiler basically stops monster effects on the field, which is very helpful. 3 copies of Psyframe Gear Gamma because it can stop your opponent's hand traps, and a single copy of Driver because you have to play Driver if you're gonna play Gamma. So these cards come in very handy. It's my current lineup. You could change out the Effect Veilers if you wanted to for Nibiru's. It's totally up to you, but I totally just like it this way. We were playing the 3 Ash, 2 Ghost Spell, 2 Effect Veiler, and then the 3 Gammas because you have plenty of ways to stop it with one of the other cards that we have in the deck. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is an extremely powerful card that just stops hand traps from going off, so this card is a must one of in the deck. We play a single copy of Tinky, because Tinky is currently a 1, and lets us search our Beast Warrior type monsters from the deck, so this card is a 1 of in the deck still. We play 3 copies of Crossout Designator. Crossout Designator is one of the most powerful cards of the format. Now, I thought this card was going to get played a lot more than it did, but we're just seeing it in very interesting decks like this that basically go into 1-card combos with your Tri-Brigade monsters, using your graveyard with one of your Tri-Brigade monsters to banish them to go into some really insane plays. So you can stop any of the hand traps that I showed you guys before, like your copies of Ghost Spell, Effect Veiler, or Ash Blossom. If you find that you're having to deal with a hand trap in particular, you can side it in for any of those other hand traps, like your Effect Veilers. You can side those out to put in Nibiru's. You can side out copies of your Ghost Spells if you want to put in copies of Droll. It's totally up to you what you feel like you're having to deal with the most and what you need to handle the most with your Crossout Designators. We then play 3 copies of Pot of Desires. I really like Desires in here because there's not a particular card that if I banish it in this deck that I've totally lost this entire game. So I love 3 Desires in this particular build. I usually don't like 3 Desires, but in this deck, it just really works because you're trying to get to the most amount of cards in this deck, but to be able to go into the majority of your plays by getting a bunch of cards in your hand and being able to handle your opponent with the hand traps that you do play and give you more Crossout Designators in your hand to stop your opponent. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, I'm playing 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is another Crossout Designator target, and it's a really good card to be able to stop your opponent's monster effects. That's why I debated dropping the Effect Veilers to play 2 copies in Nibiru, just to stop the crazy plays, but I don't see myself special summoning that crazy in this deck. And then we play 3 copies of Tri-Brigade Revolt. Now, this card is one of the craziest cards in the deck, and the reason I actually play 3 copies of this is because of the Pot of Desires. Now, this card is absolutely crazy because it lets us special summon a number of Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monsters that are banished or in the graveyard but negate their effects. And then immediately this card resolves, you get to link summon 1 Tri-Brigade Link monster using only those cards. This card is absolutely busted in this deck. I love this card as a 3 of. But if I was going to deal with this deck at any point, I would probably put this card to maybe like 1 or even get rid of it altogether, because this card is absolutely insanely powerful in this deck, because you're basically able to flip this card and go directly into an Ominous Omens, your copy of Silver Sheller, any of the ones that you need to go into. This card basically has you covered, so I play this card as a definite 3 of in this deck. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing just 2 copies of Ominous Omen. I think 2 is fine. I have considered playing 3 in this build, but 2 has been traditionally the number that I've run with in this build. What this card does is if this card is special summon or another face-up Beast Warrior or Winged Beast monster is special summoned to your field, you can banish a card on the field, which is an insanely powerful effect just to be able to banish any card on the field. It also has the ability, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster from your deck to your hand, whose level is less than or equal to the number of your banished Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monsters, which usually you're going to have 4 when you summon this monster to your side of the field. So it basically searches the entire deck, which is absolutely crazy. We then play just a single copy of Silver Sheller. You don't ever need more than 1 copy of this card. It has the ability to, during your main phase, quick effect, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Beast Warrior, Winged Beast monster from your hand or graveyard, which is really good, but it negates its effects, and you return to the hand during the end phase, which is a pretty good effect just to give you an additional monster on your side of the field if you're trying to link climb, but I only find myself ever really wanting a single copy of this card. It also has the ability that if this card is in the graveyard, or excuse me, if this card is sent to the graveyard, then you can make all monster opponent currently controls lose 300 attack for each monster type you control, which is a pretty good effect because the maximum you're usually going to get is like 900 on this. We then play a single copy of the Barum. Barum is pretty good to play a single copy of it. I don't find myself ever needing more than 1 of this card because it has the ability to discard 2 cards, then target 1 of your banished level 4 or lower Beast Warrior, Winged Beast monsters, and special summon that card. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Tri-Brigade spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which is the only card you're ever going to search with this card is Revolt. revolt anyways. But it also has the ability that you get to search that card, then place one card from your hand on the bottom of your deck. And also you can't special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except for Tri-Brigade monsters, which is a little bit of a downside because it does lock you into Tri-Brigade. We're then playing a single copy of, or 2 copies of Baron Blossom. I really like 2 in this particular build. I have tested her 1, but I feel like 2 is the optimal number in this build. What she does is during the main phase, you can special summon a level 4 or lower Beast Warrior or Winged Beast monster from your hand. And also you can't use monsters as link material for the rest of the turn except for the Beast Warrior or Winged Beast monsters. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you could draw a card, then place a card from your hand on the bottom of your deck. This card is absolutely crazy good, giving you that extra draw just so you can get another card, fix your hands a little bit, and be able to go in for additional plays. I really like her as a 2-of in this particular build. We then play a single copy of Appaloosa just to give it those additional monster negations. 1 copy of Access Code because Access Code gives us those additional pops, which is really, really good for this deck. 1 copy of Doom Eagle. I really like Doom Eagle in this deck because Doom Eagle has the ability to go all the way up to 4,800 if your opponent has no monsters in their graveyard. And it also has the ability that you can target 1 monster opponent's graveyard and shuffle it into the deck, which can be really good if we're playing against certain decks that need cards in the graveyard, especially if you're playing against a deck like Drytron and they've set up their graveyard. You can actually use this to shuffle cards back, which is really good. We play a single copy of the Double Dragon Lords. Double Dragon Lords is really good because of its last effect, that you can use the effect to add an Ancient Warrior from your deck to your hand, and then quick effect, you have the ability to send 1 card from your hand or field to the graveyard to target a face-up card your opponent controls and return that to the hand. That is the big effect that you're going to be using of this card, that is basically a compulse to be able to bounce a card. We're then playing a single copy of Salamangreat Alamirage. Alamirage is really good in the deck because you have a lot of just normal summon this card out to the field, like your copy of Niraval, that you can just normal summon out Niraval and then link it away with this to be able to get you a link 1 on the field and get you a search, which is really good. 1 copy of Sky Cavalry so you can climb into Zeus, 1 copy of Downer Magician so you can climb into Zeus, and then a single copy of Zeus so you can play Zeus. These are basically here because you're trying to climb all the way into the copy of Zeus to go in for some insanely, like, you're going to get crazy boards just destroyed with Zeus. It's one of the best cards in the entire extra deck right now to be able to summon out Zeus and just board wipe your opponent. Then we play for the final card. I'm playing a single copy of Psyframe Lord Omega because we are playing the Gamma package, and the Gamma package is really good in this deck. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. It's a really awesome deck to be able to play around with. I really love Tri-Brigade. It's fairly budget now that we have the reprints for them in the Megaton, so it's a pretty easy deck to pick up. It has some tech cards in here, and you can basically throw any hand traps you want. I just play 3 of each of the Tri-Brigade monsters. If you guys would like to enter to win to actually get one of those Tri-Brigade kits, because we're going to have 2 winners for these, all you have to do is check out the official rules down in the description down below. And thank you so much, Apollo, for sending me these to actually give away to 2 winners. And all you have to do again to do this is to be subscribed to the DarkArmedDuelist channel, like, and go down there and comment down below what deck you think is going to be the deck of the format. I again think it's going to be Sword Soul, Tri-Brigade, or Drytron. I think it might be one of those 3, but comment down below because I would love to hear from you guys. So anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and thank you guys so much for 50,000 subscribers, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.